Everyone in our village did not understand why the village stream was bubbling like it was alive. We didn't know strangers were sneaking into our land under the cover of darkness, dumping the bodies of their dead into the stream. The stream wasn't angry because of something we did. No, it wasn't. It was angry because it had become a grave. Long ago, there lived a fierce 50-year-old woman called Emila. Emila was an introvert, always keeping to herself. She did not associate with other women in the village. She did her things herself without getting anyone involved. People in our community wondered why Emila was the way she was. Several women would try getting her involved in their cultural activities, but Emila was never interested. Emila was never involved in any fights or disputes in the community. She stayed away from anything that would result in misunderstanding. Our community was a war-free community. We never had any history of war or dispute with other communities. We lived in peace under the rulership of our king, who ruled with great wisdom. One day, some of our maidens went to the stream to fetch water, but something was not right with the stream. The stream was boiling, making it difficult for the maidens to fetch or even carry home. No one knew what had caused this or why. They took the news to the king, and the king went to see for himself. Our king was very worried. He said, "We haven't offended anyone. We have not committed any sacrilege in the village, so why this calamity?" Several sacrifices were made in the stream to appease the gods. Several gifts offered, but nothing changed. The stream kept boiling. There was no fresh drinking water in our community anymore because even if you succeeded in fetching the water, it would keep boiling in the pot. In fact, the water never stopped boiling no matter where it was. Our king was tired. He had tried everything but no solution. Emila was unhappy with how miserable the community had become, so she took it upon herself to find out what was happening. Every night, Emila would go to the stream to spy if she sees anything out of the ordinary. She saw nothing for the first 3 nights, but she never gave up. She kept going until one day she saw something.
2 men who seemed not to come from our community but a neighboring community. She stayed in hiding to observe what these men were doing. Suddenly, she saw the men throwing dead bodies into the stream. Emila was very angry. The next day, she took the news to the king. The king sent some of his guards to go with Emila and spy at night and bring back confirmation to what Emila said. Days passed. The guards and Emila saw nothing. They would stay up all night in bushes at the stream banks and still see nothing. The guards reported to the king, saying they had found no unusual happenings at the stream. The stream kept boiling and no one believed Emila. Some said she was dreaming. Others never believed she would care about the land, considering she isolated herself from the community and minded her own business. Emila was not surprised because she knew it would be difficult for the villagers to believe her without proof. So one night, she returned to the stream hoping she was going to get the proof she needed. The men came with more dead bodies. After she waited for a few hours, Emila confronted them and fought with the men until she successfully killed them. She chopped off their head and took their strange feathered headbands along with the heads in a white sack. She presented the sack to the king at his palace. When the king saw what was in the bag, he got angry. He said what Emila has done will be seen as an act of war by the other community. Emila told the king that she knew the consequences of her action. She said it was the only way to restore their water, and that with or without her action, war was coming for them. She pleaded with the king to give her a chance to explain. She told the king that she left her birth community and relocated to our land because of endless war, and that she was a war general where she left from. She fought for her land in several battles and left when she saw the king enjoyed war and was not ready for peace. He was practically using her and her team to cause war outbreaks in other communities. So she got tired of this and left, hoping in her absence the king would finally stop going to war with other communities. She further explained to the king, telling him that she knows when a community is being provoked into war. She told the king she has never gone to war with any other community, and the peace in his land has attracted jealousy from neighboring communities. They know water is the source of your prosperity and strength, so they decided to destroy it, thereby making you helpless and tricking you into going to war with them. The king saw sense in what Emila said and asked her what she thinks they should do about this.
Emila told the king to pass an announcement that if any maiden was ready to train with Emila and defend the land, they should come forth. The king gave his approval. Several maidens and I responded to the call. Before the king gave his approval, he asked Emila why she wanted maidens and not the vibrant young men in the community. She told the king the warriors will underestimate the maidens, giving them an upper hand. She concluded by saying women are their strongest weapons at the battlefield. The men will defend the village where the women will go to battle. The king gave his trust. Emila started training the maidens. She taught them several battle strategies and most importantly, the element of surprise. The king of the neighboring village sent word to our king saying we have declared war by killing their sons. Our king sent his reply explaining the reason why they were killed, but this was no news to the war-thirsty king. He knew exactly what had happened, and it was all a part of his plan to trick us into battle with them. Emila had told the king that the only way to resolve this would be to take the war to their doorsteps. Emila took her women warriors to the village boundaries, and strategically, we killed each and every warrior of the neighboring village without experiencing a kill on our side. When we were done, we dumped the bodies in their community quarters, and we proceeded to their king's palace. Emila told him that if we find any of his people trespassing on our land, or worse, dumping dead bodies in our stream again, we will return and kill every living thing in his community. Their king was helpless and scared because he had no warriors. He promised never to interfere with our land again. Emila and her women warriors returned home victoriously. Our people celebrated our return, and the king rewarded each and every one of us. Emila was our village messiah. Everyone knew her name and loved her. Our people kept bringing gifts of appreciation to her hut. After a few days, the stream stopped boiling. Fresh water had returned to our stream, and this time it came with a lot of fish. The king declared a celebration at the stream, saying the boiling water was the god's way of protecting us from the infection the dead bodies would have caused. He also said the fish were given by the god as a new way of our land to prosper better than before. We lived in peace with no further records of war.